Hey, how you doing? This is the video I threatened to do when I was doing that video with Clyde. I did that video with Clyde at Top Tread Stairways in Sierra Vista in Arizona. Uh, I just mentioned it, so here I decided to do it. So what you're about to see is I was going to just show you this ladder, basically, that I made out of hard maple for my buddy Kevin's sister. As I was scrolling through the picture albums, I saw this other set of stairs that I was going to build, and I did a lot of the work for it, and the project got canceled by the client. She was just stressed out. And so I saw that. So you're going to see both of those picture folders in this very short video. This is a pretty short video compared to all the other videos I've done in this series. I don't know. This is either episode 5 or 6, and there'll be more to come. You guys seem to be enjoying them. And it's just me kind of showing you guys some of the stuff I've done over the years, which just kind of shows my capabilities. So it's just going to work in my favor as time goes on, especially with this move I want to do to Arizona, because I can take the picture folder as a whole and just send that to somebody if they want to see my work and what I'm capable of doing. That's mainly the reason I'm doing it. That, and from time to time when I do a video, like it's a woodworking video, whether it's woodworking tips or something I'm currently working on at any given time, where oftentimes those are not complete videos. It's usually like, hey, this is what I'm doing right now on this project. Like usually there'll be several videos that I'm putting out in real time trying to get a project done. And at the end, I show you what it all looked like at the end. I'm not taking the time to take pictures every single day and create these picture folders like I used to do in the old days. Just don't have the time for it. And I don't feel like I need to. I've been doing this long enough. I've got a good enough reputation, and the work is there. You can go to the Mike Z Design Facebook page. You can go to mikezdesign.com, and you can read about me and see what I'm capable of. I don't feel like the need to really push myself that much. Although, in a way, you could say that's what I'm doing here. That's fine. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's not over yet. Stick around. All right, let's find Mike Z Design. Here we are. I'm going to do another picture folder for you guys today. I threatened to do this while I was in Arizona recently. Let's see if we can find this picture folder. Because I was at Top Tread Stairways, and I've done some stairs. I'm not a stair builder per se, but I've done short runs and different things, and open tread stairs, and ladders, and that's really what this is. I kind of misspoke. It's probably towards the end here, I'm imagining. I know that I did this. Actually, I'll show you this really quick. This was a project. I don't have too many bad stories with what I do, but this was a project that I did that I never completed, and it was unfortunate. It was a lot of work, man. And the client killed it. She's a woman that I did an editing bay for her out of mahogany, genuine Honduran mahogany. And I think she was editing like King Kong or something at the time. And she was really stressed out, and she got upset over how long it was taking me to do this. And I was actually very sick at the time, so it was hard, but I'll just roughly run through this. This was a situation where you would walk into her house, and right away you were confronted by stairs. Underneath the stairs, there was a closet built into it, so you couldn't see through the stairs, and you have to walk around that to get into the kitchen and everything. And I told her if you replace the stairs with no risers where you could see through the stairs, it would look better. So I came up with this design of just running stringers, and make this a little bigger for you. Solid walnut steps was the idea, a handrail mounted to the wall. And then I was this is the outside stringer, I was going to do diamond pattern Dutchman patches where I was going to have rods in there, or bolts running through a couple treads, like every third or fourth tread. And that would hold the whole thing together. And I was going to chamfer the front edge of the treads up here. You see this up here? And I was going to have, I guess maybe it looked like I was going to do mortises in there. I don't remember the whole thing. We'll probably see it here. This isn't what I was going to show you, but what the hell. We're here. Let's look at it. So these were all design ideas. Oh, okay, I was going to put blocks. That's what I was going to do. I was going to put blocks on the stringers. You see here, right? You see up here in the corner. what's going on there. And then here you see a mortise that is drawn into the bottom of a tread. That's a nice, easy way to do it. And they'll look like they're floating. And then when you look underneath, it looks cool. And look, I even had like a half lap detail here I was drawing out. We were coming up with all kinds of ideas. There was going to be a platform at the bottom of the stairs here. So, they have to approve all these designs. This was a project where I had Bonhoff Lumber mill the treads for me. I love Bonhoff Lumber. They've been supplying me with lumber for a long time. There's Mike. This picture folder was posted in 2012, but this project was much earlier than that. I wonder if that won't tell me when. This is. I'm sure I did this before I had. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't remember when I did this. It was a long time ago. So these are the treads. You can see how thick they are. They're over 2¼ inches thick. Let's back that out of here. I guess I'm adding some depth to some of them. And all this is just milling lumber. Oh, yeah, look at that. So I made the chamfer part and glued it to the front of the treads. I don't know if I did that on all of them. You guys can see that here. There's all the treads. Those are the parts I cut off. I was saving them. They come in handy for other things. This is a jig I made so that all the mortises are going to be exactly the same. That's one of the parts that the treads were going to hang on. This is me doing a Dutchman patch. That's probably the railing material. We're just going to cycle through this real... This is a long time ago because those old chisels, I traded somebody for something. Sharpening the chisels. Again, this is an unfortunate thing. So here you can see all the treads have been mortised for the support cleats that are going to be mounted on... stringer is really the wrong word, I suppose, but that's a sketch of what I was going to do. That's what was going to happen. So that post at the end there, I guess it would qualify as a newel post, but it's not as decorative as a traditional newel post. And that would have been all mortise and tenon, with the railing and everything. I always like my sketches, and what I do always ends up looking like the sketches, just not necessarily to scale. So it looks to me like, oh, so you'll need to make a jig. So this was after she got pissed, and I was trying to give some direction sketches to whoever she was going to have finish it. And I guess the idea here was, instead of relying on just screwing the cleats to the stringer, I was going to have a jig and then mortise, do like a mortise in there, and then put the block of wood, and then the tread sits on that. This way, this block of wood, which is a cleat, would be sitting in a mortise. So it'd be a lot stronger than just relying on screws. So that's pretty smart. Here, let me pat myself on the back here. There's the old truck. Oh, you know what? I think I made these racks specifically for this job, so I can get these giant, because I think I had these giant pieces of Douglas fir to get over there. Yeah, so these are big giant beams that were going to be the stringers. There's the old Dodge. I miss that truck sometimes. I didn't miss working on it continuously. I had taken these apart. These were behind the garage. I took them apart, and I recently milled up some of this. This is, I forget what this wood is. Apatong, I think it is. This is stuff, these parts here. They use it on other truck beds. Holds up real well to the weather. Is that it? That's it. So no more pictures of that. That's not what I wanted to show you. Let's get to this ladder thing that I made. If we can find this quick enough. We got to do this door too. That was a pretty good project. It's okay that I did that because, oh, here we are. There's only 27 pictures in this. So this was for a woman, my friend Kevin Starr. This was for his sister. And she had a loft space where she lived. And pretty neat. So anyhow, I did the layout on the sides of the ladder, right? The ladder has 2 vertical parts and it's got treads in between. So I figured out the angle I needed, and I'm mortising in to those pieces. This is, I believe it's all hard maple. Pretty strong stuff. And you can see here, I've got a chamfer on here, and these are all the tenons that have already been cut in the treads. Again, doing the mortises, locking that in place. You see how it cantilevers past the side of the rails here. We're going to address that in a minute because I believe all of these are curved, if I remember correctly. This is my old basement shop. It was good because it's right here. I can just walk outside and yeah. So dry fit assembly here. And you can see how they all cantilever. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to draw a curve. You'll see. I guess I took this picture because it's just beautiful. Again, I don't think you can see the grain pattern there, but man, and that's before the finish is on it. Once the finish got on it, it really, really popped. So here's the outside of the rail where you're going to run your hands, and you can see I'm going to shape this. And then, I guess you can't really see it here, but that's a tread, and there's a pencil line here and here. So I'm trying to figure out the curve. And I did the curves with this curve duplicator thing here. And again, it's probably too blown out, but there's a pencil line on this tread here. This is the top. And so what I'm doing here, this is the top of the rail, and I created this little horn, and I did this half lap joint here. And then there's going to be a hook, and then I'm going to shape this piece. You'll see that. So I'm kind of clamping those parts together right now with glue after the joinery is already done. And there you see that. And you can see there's a chamfer on here. So I cut that on the table saw probably. And then the rest of the finishing with that I did with hand planes. And look at that. I mean, that's, you know, if you're asking me, that's pretty cool. The neat thing is when it was hooked on, I installed a rail on the wall. I spaced it away from the wall. And that little notch there hooks on the rail. And then when you're going down the ladder, you can wrap your thumb around these horns, which made it really safe and comfortable. Like you had a dedicated place to put both your hands at the top of the ladder as you're coming up and walking into the loft. And then when you're going down again. I've never seen anybody else do that. You can tell here I'm kind of proud of my work. You know, anything you're going to do, you can make it art. It doesn't have to be just standard squares, squared off edges. Again, as anything in life goes, curves cost money. So, you know, it takes a lot of extra time getting these things symmetrical to match. And that's what you're charging for. I remember now, I didn't want to bring this up. I'm over it. It's been a long time. But she did not finish paying me for this job. I was a little pissed off about it, to be honest with you. So you can see, I don't know if it reads on screen, but I love the way this looks here. I had put the chamfer in, and then I cut the curve. So the chamfer remains just in the center of each of these treads, which is... I think you guys can see that on camera, can't you? If you can't, you let me know. It's just a really, really neat look. So on the ends where it meets the rails, it's the full width, the full height of the board. You can see it. And at the center, it looks a lot thinner when you're looking straight on it. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Again, this is not, whoopsie. Again, this is like everything else I do. This is the only one like it on the planet. It's the back side of it. This is what I was talking about. So, you know, the fronts of these treads here, they look so thin, and then at the edges, they thicken up, right? That's visually, you know, to use the correct word, aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Most people would not have taken the time to add these sorts of details. And it all being hard maple, this is just, you know, super friggin' strong. That's a good shot of that. So you guys can see what's going on here now. Right? Look at that guy. Phew, man, I was pretty young here. This is probably I mean, this says 2012, but I was not even hanging with those people after 2010 was my last big motorcycle wreck. So, and oh, that's the Gridiron Rebels t-shirt. This was probably around 2004, 2005-ish. I don't know. It could be as late as 2007. I don't think it was later. So roughly 20 years ago is about the time. That was me, basically, about 20 years ago. No beard. That might be the last picture. It is. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a short video for once of a picture folder, a couple of them. And that's it. You guys have a great day. Be kind to one another, and I'll catch you in the next one.